Hi, I'm Jess Rose from the Movement Wisdom School of Yoga, and I'm going to show you the quickest, easiest, laziest way that I know to get into the pose Bhujapidasana, which is translated in English sometimes as shoulder pressing pose or sometimes a shoulder pressure pose, doesn't really matter. So for this variation on the pose, have 2 blocks. And if you don't have 2 blocks and you're at home, you can grab some books. That's totally fine, works just as well. But this is gonna really help us because it's gonna make our arms longer, which really, really helps to get in the pose, especially if you're someone who has shorter arms. And maybe you've never really thought about your proportions in yoga, but let me tell you, they matter a lot. So for me, I don't have the longest arms in the world. Blocks really help. They'll probably help for you as well. Okay, so this pose actually is very standard in Ashtanga yoga. And in order to get into the pose, there's a really crazy transition where you jump into the pose. We're not gonna do all of that. We're just gonna approach it in a very chill way. So set up your 2 blocks on the lowest level, parallel to each other, and then turn around so the blocks are behind you and come into Malasana, come into a squat. So here we already have some of the shape of the pose. We have really deep flexion in the hips, which means our thighs and our torso are really close together. We want to keep that for the pose. We're going to actually engage it a little bit more in the pose. And now to get set up for Bhujapidasana, the only thing we have to do is lift up the butt. And now here we have to wiggle, wiggle. So take your left arm and then wiggle your left shoulder as far under your left knee as you can. And then take your left arm back. You can even use your right hand to kind of help you. Take your left hand to the block with your palm on the block and your fingers pointing forward. And then you can curl your fingers down to grab the front of the block. Do the same thing on the other side. Take your right arm through and then wiggle, wiggle. And here you can heel toe your feet a little bit closer together to the middle of your mat, to the midline. And then tippy toe your feet towards each other. And the goal is to get your knees, or let's say your shoulders, as far down under your knees as possible. And then once you have that, squeeze your legs into your shoulders strongly. Keep that engagement. Start to tippy toe your toes back towards the blocks. And then shift your weight completely into the heels of your hands. So not your fingers, but the heels of your hands. And trust yourself that you can lift your feet up and you won't fall backwards. So just press strongly into the heels of the hands. Float one foot up, then the other one. Cross the tops of the feet, cross the ankles. And here you are, magically in the laziest and easiest way to get into Bhujapidasana. That's it. It's a pretty cool pose and doesn't really require a lot of hamstring openness or even hip openness. It just requires lots of wiggling and curling in. And if you have 2 blocks and you can curl in, then you've got it. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you had some success, and don't worry if you didn't. You can always practice, and just know that yoga is not really about how you look in the poses. All right, have fun with it.